Hi! Welcome back again to our science class. And this video would be the part 2 for the week 2. So this would be the part 2 of our discussion on the circulatory system. And on this video, we will now focus with the human heart, since we said on the previous video that heart is the main organ of the circulatory system. So now, let us talk more about our heart. Okay, so human heart, let us try to close our hands and make a fist like this. Yan. So one fact about the heart is that your fist is also the size of your heart. Kung gaano kalaki, kung gaano kaliit ang inyong fist o ang inyong kamao, ganito din kalaki ang inyong heart. So, kung ikaw medyo malaking tao, edi malaki din ang heart mo. Kung medyo maliit ka, cute size, then you also have a cute size of your heart. Okay, so let's now talk about the human heart. So, the human heart is a hollow muscle. When we say the word hollow, parang hollow blocks na ginagamit sa pagtatayo ng bahay, ginagawang haligi ng bahay. Di ba pag tinignan mo yung hollow blocks, pag tinignan mo yung loob niya, yung ibabaw, bakante yung loob. Pwede mo isuot yung kamay mo dun sa bakanteng space dun sa gitnaan. So, when we say kasi hollow, ibig sabihin nun, may frame, pero yung loob, wala. An example is this one. Ito. Yung ikutan ng sinulid. So, this one is also called as hollow. It is because bakante yung loob. Yan. Tagusan. Yan. Sabihin, walang laman yung loob. Hindi siya yung solido na pati loob ay mayroong laman. So, when we say hollow, mean to say may frame siyang ganito, pero yung kanyang loob is bakante. May space. So, yung ating human heart is a hollow muscle. So, when we say hollow muscle, it is a muscle wherein walang laman o bakante yung loob sa, bakante yung laman sa loob. Then, our heart is divided into 4 chambers. The 4 main parts ng heart natin. So, those chambers are atria and the ventricle. Akala ko ba 4? Bakit 2 lang yung sinabi ko? So, the reason why that our heart is considered has 4 chambers, because our lungs is heart. Because our heart is divided into the left and the right side. Now, the 4 chambers will be the left and the right atrium, and then the left and the right ventricle. So, that is now the equivalent of the 4 chambers of the heart. So, now after knowing the 4 chambers of the heart, let us now talk about the atria or the atrium. What is this atria and atrium? Atria is used if you're referring to the 2 atrium. Meaning to say, it's the plural form. Pag ang tinutukoy mo ay parehas kaliwa at kanan, so you call it as atria. But if you're referring only into one side, for example, left, you use left atrium. So, atrium is used for the singular form of atria, but it's just the same. So, when we say atria or atrium, the left and the right atrium, it is our receiving. Sabihin, taga-tanggap. It's the receiving chamber of our heart. Taga-tanggap. Because the position of our atria or the left and the right atrium would be on the top part of the heart. Yung nasa ibabaw. So, since siya yung nasa ibabaw, that is also our receiving. Siya yung taga-tanggap. Okay? So, siya yung unang tatanggap sa blood. So, that's atria or the left and the right atrium. So, the purpose of our left, kaliwa, left atrium, the left atrium accepts only blood that is carrying the oxygenated blood, or it is the one that is carrying the blood that contains the oxygen. So the left side is the one that accepts the blood, which has the oxygen, while the right atrium is the one that receives blood that has carbon dioxide, or in other words, we call it deoxygenated blood. Again, left is for the oxygenated, oxygen-rich, while the right side is for the oxygenated or oxygen-poor blood. Okay. Next, we have ventricle or ventricles. The left and the right ventricle. Ngayon, kung ang left atrium is receiving, the ventricles is the pump. Okay? Di ba sabi natin when we talk about the heart, nung pinag-usapan natin siya on the first video, the purpose of our heart is to pump, taga-tulak, taga-circulate ng blood. So, meaning to say, to be specific, the part of the blood that is pumping would be the ventricle. Asan yung ventricle? Kung nasa taas yung atria, because it is the receiving chamber, then yung babang parte ng puso natin would be the ventricle or the ventricles. And the purpose of these ventricles, again, is the one that is pumping. So, it's called pumping chamber of the heart. The purpose of the left and the right ventricle are both pumping chamber. And since sabi natin, si left atrium receives oxygenated blood, then the left ventricle also is for pumping oxygenated blood. While on the other side, the right atrium receives the oxygenated blood, meaning to say the right ventricle is also pumping the oxygenated blood. Okay, so let us now proceed to the major divisions of our heart. So, yung puso natin, sabi natin kanina, meron siyang 4 chambers. Aside from the 4 chambers, meron tayong major division in between the upper and the lower part of the heart. Upper is the atrium, lower is the ventricle. Sa gitna ng dalawa, meron tayong division. Meron tayong harang. Bakit kailangan ng harang? Yung harang na yun na tinatawag nating valve, V-A-L-V-E, valve, the purpose of the valve is for us to prevent backflow. When we say backflow, kasi the flow of our blood in our heart is a one-way direction. Sabihin, parang sa kalye, pag sinabing one-way, kung paano ang takbo ng sasakyan, dapat ganun lahat. Hindi pwedeng may isang pataliwas. Kaya nga one way. So when we say flow of the blood in the heart, it is only a one-way direction and there's no turning back. Kapag dumaan ka na sa atria, pupunta ka na sa ventricle, hindi ka pwedeng bumalik papunta ulit ng atrium. So, para maiwasan natin na bumalik yung flow ng blood, so meron tayo doon parang pintong harang na tinatawag nating valve. So, the purpose of this valve is located between the atrium and the ventricle is mainly just to prevent the flowing backwards of the blood. Para ma-prevent natin yung backflow, para hindi bumalik. So, para hindi siya bumalik, meron tayong tagatulak na tinatawag nating valve. And this valve controls the movement of the blood. Kinokontrol niya yung movement ng blood natin na pag lumampas ka na, dyan ka lang, hindi ka pwedeng bumalik, hindi ka pwedeng mag-backflow. Because backflow of the blood in our heart will cause a major problem with our heart. And we do not want that, of course. And for us to prevent that backflow of the blood, yung trabaho ni valve dun ay para harangan. At itulak papunta sa kasunod na pupuntahan yung ating blood. Another deficiency in our heart now is between the left side and the right side. Kung kanina, valve is for the upper and the lower part, we also have the division between the left side and the right side of the heart, which is called septum. So, septum is just a dividing wall. Dividing wall. Parang sa bahay, pag gusto mong lagyan ng harang, yung kusina at salas, then nilalagyan natin ng divider. Diba? So, yung heart naman natin, to separate the left side and the right side of the heart, since the left and the right side has different purposes, may magkaiba silang trabaho at magkaiba ang daladala nilang dugo. Then, kailangan natin ng harang in between the left side and the right side, which is called, again, septum. So, this septum is just a dividing wall to separate the left side and the right. So, let us say now that the heart is already pumping. Yan, nagpa-pump na ngayon tayo ng blood sa heart. Re-receive ni atria, and then ipapump naman ni ventricle. Now, when the heart is on process, nasa trabaho siya, ang trabaho ng puso natin, hindi yan gumagalaw ng at the same time. Kapag gumagana yung taas, nagpapahinga yung baba. Pag gumagana yung baba, nagpapahinga yung taas. So, meaning to say, when the top part of the heart, si top part, which is the atria, the left and the right atrium, kapag gumagana yung top part, nagre-relax si bottom or nagre-relax si ventricle. Pag tapos nang magtrabaho si atrium, si left at si right, ipapasa na niya kay ventricle. Now, that's the time that the ventricle will pump the blood. Pag si ventricle na ngayon na nagtatrabaho, our upper part or our atrium now will relax. Kumbaga, salitan tayo. Pag magtatrabaho ka, papahinga ako. Kung magtatrabaho ako, magpahinga ka naman. So, salitan tayo ng gawa. And that is how our heart works when it is pumping the blood. Okay, so let us now talk about the two circuits in the human circulation, which is the circulation of the blood. From our previous discussion on video part 1, we discussed there the three parts or the three circulation of the blood, which are the pulmonary, the systemic, and the coronary circulation. Now, on the two circuits, we will just focus on the pulmonary circuit and the systemic circuit. But it is just of the same process kung ano yung dumadaan sa kanya, but we will just be specific on the flow. Now, on this pulmonary circuit, it is the transportation of the oxygen-depleted blood from the heart going to the lungs. And the function of the pulmonary circulation is to oxygenate the blood. So, meaning to say, in the pulmonary circulation, ang nakukuha ng blood natin from the heart, papunta sa lungs, ay nagdadala siya ng oxygen depleted. So, meaning to say, those are the blood which has less oxygen. Yung walang masyadong oxygen or yun talagang walang oxygen. And, from the lungs, babalik siya sa heart. Pagbalik niya sa heart, i-oxygenate niya ngayon yung blood. So, meaning to say, after niyang mag-transport ng oxygen-depleted blood, pagbalik niya ngayon sa heart, ang gagawin naman niya, magde-deliver naman siya ngayon ng blood na rich now in oxygen. Let us see the flow of the pulmonary circuit, the exact flow of the pulmonary circuit using a flow chart. So, let us all watch the next video. Okay, so next, after the pulmonary circulation, let us now discuss about the systemic circulation. In the systemic circulation, this is carrying the oxygenated blood. So, ibig sabihin, ang dala-dala niyang blood ay yung blood na may oxygen or oxygen-rich. Now, from the heart, galing sa puso, this oxygen-rich blood will be delivered to the organs and the tissues and then back to the heart. So, from the heart to the different organs of the body as well as the tissues, and then it will go back to the heart. Now, let us all see again the flow of the systemic circulation from its specific parts kung saan siya talaga dadaan isa-isa. So, let us all watch again the next video. Okay, at last, we're done with our lesson for week number 2 about the circulatory and the human heart. Now, I do believe by this time you already know the connection of circulatory and the respiratory system on how they work together in a common purpose. Okay, so that would be all for our video today, which is the part 2 of the discussion about the circulatory system. Now, on this video, we just discussed about the human heart and the two circuits in the human circulation, which are the pulmonary circuit and the systemic circuit. And I do hope that this video will really help you understand our lesson on the circulatory system. Thank you for watching and hoping that these videos will help you for your modules. Don't forget to please subscribe my channel for the lessons in science, as well as to hit like for the videos if you really understand the topic.